I am privileged to join you today as we launch this noble initiative that requires our combined effort to find a lasting solution. We must and should dig very deep if we are to tame the runaway societal moral decline wrought by the internet globally, and in particular, its negative impact on our children. We cannot live without the internet. In fact, the United Nations affirms that the universal access to the internet is now a human right. It is important, therefore, that we strike the right balance between this reality and protecting our children from the monsters lurking behind every computer screen and smartphone, and which usually comes veiled in innocent-looking garbs. Needless to say, the internet and the digitization it has spawned has positively impacted the world in ways no one would have thought possible a decade ago. Today in Kenya, the internet penetration stands at 85% of the population, as has already been articulated. The number of smartphones has risen in tandem, bringing internet accessibility to the most remote regions of our country. What this means is that even children who can barely walk for unlimited access, have unlimited access to the internet. The COVID-19 pandemic opened a Pandora's box. Some of the children who might not have been exposed to the internet had little choice than to embrace the internet as they attended virtual classes during the lockdown. We now live in a world where the ubiquity of the digital world is no longer in question. Just this week, a story ran on the BBC depicting how a 6-year-old girl had undergone emergency surgery after swallowing magnets to imitate tongue piercing in TikTok videos. In the US, it has been reported that teen suicide spiked after the debut of Netflix's 13 Reasons Why. Closer home, although not very well documented, we can relate with some of our children that have been impacted negatively as the ape characters that they interact with through social media, be in their manner of dressing, vulgar language, explicit music and content, aggressive attitudes, and many other characteristics that we now see. This then begs the question, have we put in place the necessary safety infrastructure to ensure that our children are not exposed to the reprehensible side of the net? Are we as parents and guardians, be it at home, school, or churches, playing our expected role to ensure that our kids are aware of the dangers posed by the internet? Are we effectively acting as the second layer of gatekeepers? Is it not time that all of us started to reevaluate where the rain started beating us in terms of protecting our children from the iniquities of the internet? I think we have a situation where societal morals and values have been overtaken by the rapid pace of technological evolution. The world has focused so much on inventing the next big thing in the digital space that we seem to have forgotten the need for gatekeepers of this new world, especially for our children. But we shouldn't just sit back and mourn. We must do something and do it quick. And that is why I must congratulate the Communications Authority of Kenya on this initiative, which could not have come at a better time, a time when the entire moral fabric of our society is at risk of unraveling unless we do something urgently. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, when some of us were growing up, the most violence that we ever encountered via technology space was what we saw in movies, which in any case were rare and far between. A few brave souls went and practiced some of the tricks they learned on their brothers and sisters, but that was just about it. These were the actions of Bruce Lee and other people. Today, a child does not have to leave the comfort of their bedroom to experience almost real-life violence, streamed in 3D from Hollywood. They don't have to leave their computer rooms for them to be bullied by total strangers from other sides of the world. They don't have to leave their seats to be confronted by freely available adult content. These dark rabbit holes are just a few keyboards taps away. The technological leap over the last decade has spurred numerous avenues through which our children are exposed to violence and explicit content, be it through video games, TV shows, movies, and of course, social media. We have pedophiles, especially in the dark web, who peddle material that is illegal and extremely morally offensive. The unfortunate thing is that the internet never forgets. Any material that is posted on this vast dark space and involves children will still be there when they grow up, further impacting their adult lives. Careers and lives have been destroyed by material people have inadvertently leaked on the internet. Research has shown that children are getting onto the internet younger as times go on. And a report by UNICEF says that globally, a child goes online every half a second. And that's a lot of children who ideally should be nurturing their physical and mental health by playing outside with their peers, but are instead spending time in gloomy rooms trolling the internet. We have seen increased cases of cyberbullying that has resulted in lowered self-esteem for our youth and in extreme cases, self-harm and even suicide. The Western influence has aggravated an already dire situation. We have seen some Hollywood movies normalizing suicides in children, actually not just normalizing, but even giving some tacit encouragement to children to pursue this dangerous route. Sexual predators lurk in every corner of these internet superhighways, and the UNICEF report I quoted earlier notes that 80% of children in 25 countries where the survey was carried out felt that they were in danger of abuse and exploitation online. This is a dark side of technology. But the truth of the matter is that technology is here to stay. Like has been said about fire, technology can be a good servant, but is an especially bad master. Let us tame technology so that we can use it for the good of society, so that it becomes our servant and not our master. Through such initiatives as the one by the CA, we can come up with strategies that will tame this demon and let our children go back to being children. Once again, allow me to reiterate that we are fully in support of this program, and as a ministry, the components that fall within our ambit will be fully implemented for the sake of our children. Before I invite you, Your Excellency, to address this gathering, allow me to thank you for the enthusiasm and the support that you have extended in the cause of protecting children from all forms of exploitation. Child exploitation is a malignant cancer that has been spreading within our communities, but is a cancer that we must stop through initiatives such as this one.